Healing from past. How unhealed wounds shape your parenting style. Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, I'm Zachy. Today, we're diving into a topic that many people might not talk about, but affects so many of us. Parenting and unhealed wounds. This topic may hit close to home for some, and for others, it might offer some much-needed insight into why we sometimes struggle as parents. It's an area that we don't always realize is impacting us until we stop and reflect. Parenting isn't always easy, and sometimes we get frustrated or act in ways we regret. But when you take a step back and think about it, it might not be your child's behavior causing that reaction. It could be unresolved emotions or trauma from your past. So today, we're going to chat about how unhealed wounds from our own experiences shape the way we parent. Don't worry, this isn't about making you feel guilty. It's about understanding where it all comes from, and most importantly, how we can work through it to become better parents. So, grab a cup of tea, get comfy, and let's dive into this important conversation. To begin, let's define what we mean by unhealed wounds. When we talk about emotional wounds, we're referring to the scars from past experiences, things that happen to us that cause emotional pain. These might stem from childhood neglect, an emotionally distant parent, bullying, abandonment, or even a traumatic loss that we never fully processed. Sometimes these wounds are deep, and other times it might seem small, but they can have a significant impact on how we view the world and interact with others. Unhealed wounds are like emotional baggage. It's not just the event that caused the hurt, but also how we internalized it and carried it with us as we grew older. Think about it. If a child feels like they're not good enough or they don't receive the love and care they need, that belief can linger into adulthood. These unhealed wounds are emotional scars that haven't been worked through, and as a result, they continue to affect our relationships, our self-esteem, and yes, even how we parent our children. Now, you might be thinking, well, I've moved on from my past, and maybe you have in some ways. But often, we don't even realize how deeply certain things affect us. They're like silent drivers that influence the way we interact with others, especially with our kids. And the truth is, we can't fully heal until we acknowledge and address these wounds. Now that we know what unhealed wounds are, let's talk about how they show up in parenting. As parents, we're constantly interacting with our children, and whether we realize it or not, our past can impact how we respond to their needs, emotions, and behavior. Sometimes, we respond in ways we don't even understand ourselves. And that's when it gets tricky. Let me give you an example. Let's say you grew up in a home where emotional expression wasn't encouraged. Maybe you were taught to suppress feelings or were told to toughen up. As a result, you might find yourself doing the same thing with your children. When they express sadness or frustration, you might unconsciously shut down their feelings because you never learned how to express those emotions yourself. Or maybe, if you experience emotional neglect as a child, you might struggle to emotionally connect with your child, even though you love them deeply. On the flip side, if you had a critical or perfectionistic parent, you might find yourself setting unrealistically high standards for your child. This can lead to frustration when they don't meet those expectations, and you may find yourself getting angry or disappointed more often than you would like. It's important to remember that our children are not the cause of our wounds. They're the ones who feel the brunt of our unresolved emotions. And sometimes, without realizing it, we pass on the same emotional patterns we received as kids. But here's the thing. When we acknowledge that our past is affecting our parenting, we can take action to change that narrative. So, the big question is, how do we break the cycle of passing on unhealed wounds to our children? The first step is awareness. You can't change something if you don't first acknowledge that it exists. And let's be real, it's not easy to admit that we've been hurt or that we're struggling with our emotional baggage, but being aware of the impact our past has on our parenting is the first step toward healing. Once we've acknowledged it, the next step is healing. And while healing looks different for everyone, there are some common steps we can take to begin the process. It's not about being perfect. There's no such thing as a perfect parent. But healing allows us to become better, more present, and more compassionate parents. Talk about it. One of the most powerful ways to start healing is to talk about it. Share your experiences with someone you trust, a friend, a partner, or a therapist. The act of verbalizing your feelings can help you process them and take the power away from the past. It's also a chance to release the emotions that you've been holding in for so long. Practice self-care. Caring for yourself is not selfish. It's necessary. When we're emotionally drained, it's hard to be present for our children. That means taking time for the things that make you feel grounded and happy. Whether it's reading, exercising, journaling, or just relaxing with a cup of tea, self-care allows you to recharge and heal your emotional wounds. Forgive yourself. Healing also involves self-forgiveness. You might feel guilty for things you've said or done in the past, especially if you reacted in ways that hurt your children. But here's the reality. We're all human and we all make mistakes. Forgiving yourself is a crucial part of the healing process because you can't move forward if you're constantly holding on to guilt. Mindful parenting. Being present with your children is another key to breaking the cycle. Mindful parenting involves slowing down, paying attention to your child's needs, and not reacting impulsively. It's about being emotionally available for your child, rather than being caught up in your own unhealed wounds. When we start healing, the benefits extend beyond just ourselves. Our relationships with our children improve. We become more patient, more understanding, and better able to connect emotionally. We stop reacting based on past trauma and start responding in healthy, supportive ways. For instance, let's say you've struggled with anger issues that stem from an abusive childhood. Through therapy and self-reflection, you're learning how to manage your emotions. As a result, when your child has a tantrum, instead of yelling or losing your temper, you respond calmly, offering comfort and understanding. This not only improves your relationship with your child, but also helps them feel safe and secure. As parents, we often feel like we need to be perfect. But the truth is, healing doesn't mean perfection. It means progress. And progress is something we can always strive for. The more we work on ourselves, the better we can be for our children. And the more we heal, the better environment we create for them to grow up in. So, if you found yourself struggling with unhealed wounds and how they're affecting your parenting, don't be too hard on yourself. Healing is a journey, not a destination. It takes time, but the good news is that every step you take toward healing is a step toward being a better parent. If you're ready to start that healing process, take it one day at a time. You're not alone, and you have the strength to overcome whatever challenges lie ahead. You've got the power to break the cycle and create a healthier, happier environment for your children. Thank you for spending this time with me today. If you found this video helpful, go ahead and hit that subscribe button to join the Adzakaprat community. Let's continue to learn, grow, and support each other as we navigate the ups and downs of parenting and healing. Take care of yourselves and take care of your kids. You've got this. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this with anyone who might benefit from this conversation. See you next time